afternoon, FMCA attendee people. My name is Doug Uhlenbrock. I am the Director of Events. This is Barb Filer.
Hi.
She is the Events Manager. And today we are here to talk to you a little bit about this upcoming Lucky 13 convention that's going to be taking place when? March 15th through 18th, I think. That's like a little bit over 6 weeks away, or right around 6 weeks away. Actually, it is 6 weeks away. Exactly 6 weeks away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, February 1st. So.
Yes, it is February 1st. I don't know what happened the month of January, but it absolutely disappeared. We are on the precipice of our 106th International Convention, and we're very excited. During this Q&A session, we're going to be doing a lot of talking about confirmation packets and the things that you should expect to see coming in the mail here, probably for most folks within the next week or two. We have our first round of packets went out yesterday in the mail. Our next round will go out tomorrow or Friday in the mail. So if you've registered already, you should probably see this, like I said, within the next week or so. For those who chose to have their packet held for will call, you'll be receiving an email in the next week or two with a lot of the information that's in the packets coming to you in PDF form that you can either print out or read online, or however you choose to receive that type of electronic information. Barb's going to help me out here. She knows more about this. Let me just tell you, one of the things when we put these packets together, I'm not permitted to touch them because they say I'm the one who always screws them up. I don't believe that, but it seems they all say the same thing. So I think they're just kind of covering their own butts and saying I screw everything up.
Right. So if they're wrong, but, you know he packed it.
Yeah. So if it's wrong, then somehow Doug got involved this time and screwed your packet up. But even saying that, and I'm not kidding here. If you do get your packet, you know, I'm going to actually probably say this again a little bit later. If you get your packet and something doesn't look right, or you think you signed up for something and it's saying, you know, your packet's looking like it has something different, please give us a call. Send us an email, convention@fmca.com. Call 800-543-3622, and we'll get that fixed for you. And we'll send you out some new information, or we'll put it at will call so you can get it when you show up. It's much better if we know it now than when you show up and you're sitting there talking to the folks out in will call or out in the parking lots, and they can't help you like we can help you now. So if you see something that just doesn't look quite like you thought it should, or like what you think you ordered, please let us know ahead of time and give us a chance to fix it before you roll into Perry. So this packet is going to come, and Barb, show us what it's going to look like.
It's going to look
like when it
comes
that.
In the mail.
It's going to have your address there, though.
Yeah.
Because this is actually a will call packet. We put it up there, but your address will be there. It will say your name, your F number, what kind of parking you got. That is how we figure out what you're supposed to get in your packet. So when this shows up, when you see this envelope show up in your mail, I want you to get it, and I want you to open it, and I want you to look at what's inside of it. So many people, and you think maybe I'm kidding about this, but you can ask folks who are on the parking team. People show up, and they'll have this envelope, and people will say, "Where are your credentials?" Well, I don't know. I didn't get any. Well, did you get an envelope from us? Yeah. They pull that envelope out, and it's never been opened. Please open the envelope. Look at what's inside. We're going to go through everything that is or might be in this envelope for you. Depending on your situation, whether you're volunteer, when you're coming in, when you park, your things will be different. So, you know, just make sure, open the envelope, see what's in there, look at the things we're going to be talking about here in a little bit.
Don't leave it on your kitchen table. Put it in your RV.
Right. Open it, look at it, make sure it makes it to the RV with the rest of the things that you're going to be packing before you leave. All right. A couple of the major things we are going to be talking about here. Let's look at the badges first. Okay. You're going to get badges. They're going to have whoever's coming with you. They're going to have badges for you and your spouse, your partner, your kids, whoever it is that's coming with you, you should have badges in your packet for you. Look at those badges. Make sure the name's correct.
Sure, they're your name.
Yeah.
Because we're doing these by hand. A lot of reading, a lot of filling.
So make sure that information is correct for you. We can make new badges, and we'll be happy to make new badges if they need to be corrected. And like I said, we can either mail those out to you, or we can put them in a will call packet for you to pick up when you arrive. Second thing we're going to talk about is your parking. Everybody selected what kind of parking they wanted, whether it was general parking or electric or full hookup. If you're, at one point when you registered, you chose a type of parking. You're going to get a card that indicates what kind of parking you chose. Check your card, make sure it looks like what you think you ordered. If you have a question about whether you ordered that or not, let us know. Give us a call, give us, send us an email, and we'll dig into it and find out what kind of parking you had signed up for and make sure it matches the card that you got. As Barb said, these are all hand packed. So mistakes are made on occasion where the wrong card will go into the wrong packet. We want to get that remedied for you before you show up. Try and get in, and you got this card, you're not sure where you're supposed to go. Let's get it straightened out ahead of time. The next piece that we're going to talk about is it's a new thing. We started it in Lincoln, and we're going to go and use it now going forward is our QR locator card. Actually, it's called officially the check-in and location QR code card. And whoever came up with that dumb long name, basically what it is, a big card. We ask you to put that in your windshield. That's going to allow our parking that with the phone with a device. We're going to stand that. That way we're going to know you're here. You are actually in Perry. Now, you might not be parked yet, but we know you're on grounds. We know that you are somewhere in the facility. At some point later, once you get parked, keep this in your windshield, keep it in, if you have a towable, keep it in your car windshield or your truck windshield or in some visible window in your RV that's pointing out towards the street. Because our parking team then will come by again and they will rescan you. And that will put you in a specific space on the grounds so that if we need to, we can find you. It'll locate where you're at on a GPS map for us. It'll have your phone number. It'll have your information so we can contact you. We can come get you, whatever. If you are, say off doing something and something happens at your RV, we can go out there, scan this and find out who you are and find out how we can get in touch with you to as you come back to your RV. So it serves a couple different purposes. So if we need to find you, we can find you out in the lot. And if we are in the lot and need to find you or get in touch with you while you're at seminars or entertainment or anything, we can do that as well. It's very, we used to do little locator cards, and we did some other things. This is something that we've been working on for a while. We tried it in Lincoln. It worked pretty well. We're kind of cleaning it up, making sure it's all the little tweaks are done with it to make sure it works really good. Our parking team, they're so excited about doing this. So it's kind of a big deal, kind of moving into the 21st century kind of thing for us to be able to do and use the technology that's available to really hone in on exactly where you're at when you come to these events.
Can I see one?
You most certainly can.
This on?
Yes.
Okay. Likewise, when you check your badges and you check your park, these big cards have little tiny F numbers and little tiny your name. And we're packing these. Our eyes are crossing. So just make sure that your name is here and your F numbers up here is you. If that's wrong, let us know. We'll get another one to you, and probably the other guy that has yours will tell us, and we'll get them all right. But this is new. These are little tiny things, and we're trying to match everything up. So it's really important that this is you.
And what it is this links into your information. So when we hit this with the scan, it comes up and tells us who you are. It gives us your information, your phone number, your email, so that we're putting you in a position, and we're putting your position there with information that we would need to contact you. So I can go in if somehow I need to find out where you are, I can type your name in, type your F number in. It'll put me right on a map that we can come out and find you.
Yep.
How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay.
So badges, parking, QR code.
Right.
Everything's together.
All right. The next thing we're going to talk about is, let's go with the date, the arrival date. This card here is the day that we are asking you to arrive. And I know a lot of people have questions about why they get a certain day to arrive. Well, volunteers, we have specific days for you to arrive because you have a meeting the next day. So, you know, if you have your trams, security, activity cart drivers, frustrated maestros, we're going to bring you in on the 13th because you have a meeting or you have things going on the 14th. I'm sorry, 12th. You come in on the 12th, then the 13th you have your meeting. If you are, you know, information, seminars, coffee hour, and first timers, you're going to come in on the 13th. You'll have your meeting on the 14th. If you're a first timer, you'll have things to do throughout the day on the 14th. If you are a general member and you signed up a little bit later in the process, usually you will have an arrival date of the 14th. The reason we do this, and you know, this has been going on with at FMCA conventions for many, 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 many years, is we cannot bring everyone in on the same day. And we have to have some kind of idea of how many we are going to have each day. So we break it down into two separate kind of close to groups. We'll have other people showing up a little bit earlier, some volunteers, some early arrivals, things like that. But on our Monday and Tuesday arrivals, we try and separate it out. So we're not having 1,000 come in one day and 500 the next day. We want to kind of make it close to even. That's for our parking team. That's for our, you know, the folks who are, you know, coming in. We don't want you sitting in traffic on the highway or on the streets around the ground. So we want to make it so the parking team can get you in an efficient manner and not have people waiting for a long period of time. If you, for some reason, need to come in on a certain day, let us know, and we'll get you the cards. That way we can keep track of that. You know, we have some people, maybe they might be traveling with the first timer, but they're not a first timer. And they say, well, you know, the first timer is supposed to come in the 13th. Can we come in with them? Yes, you can, but we got to know. You know, some people, they don't want to come in till the 14th. Maybe they don't want to come in till the 15th.
Right.
That's fine. You can come in after, on the day or after the day on your card. You can do that. We just don't want people coming in on you know, Sunday when they're not supposed to come in until Tuesday. Okay, that creates a little bit of a problem for us. Now, we're not going to turn you away. We're not going to say, okay, you got to leave. You got two options. You can either stay in the general or in the holding area and camp using your generator, you know, dry camping for the next 2 days, and you do that completely free. Or you could pay an extra $40 to get camped or get parked early, and you know, it doesn't help us, you know, when we're doing our numbers, but it's a possibility that if you want to come in earlier than what your arrival date is, and you haven't made arrangements ahead of time, you can come in early, pay us an extra $40, and then they will get you camped at that point. It's up to you. The extra money goes towards the additional electric that we're going to have to start that day. So, you know, I would highly recommend you come in on the day we ask you to. If you can't, then we'll work on that. That's not a problem. The next thing we have is the special cards. Some folks will be on advanced crew. They'll be disabled. We have other cards for frustrated maestros. We've got cards for our coffee hour. So, you know, if you're in a volunteer group or you have asked for disabled parking or you've asked for different things, we will have cards in there specific for your purpose. Volunteer will get a special card. If you're an RV basics or if you're an RV driving school, you'll get a special card to put in your windshield so our parking team knows that you are with that group. Make sure you have those cards in your windshield. It makes it so much easier for our parking team to get you to the right place if you have that card in there, in your windshield. If it's not, you're going to go driving around for a while, and somebody's finally going to say, show me what's in your packet. You're going to pull that card out, and then they'll be able to show you. Put it in your windshield, make it obvious to our parking team what it is, what group you're with, what specific area you need to go to. They know where if they see that card, they'll know where to send you. If they don't see the card, they have no clue. Let's do the final card you're gonna get. The final card is this little hanger card, and that goes for those who are either pulling a car behind their motorhome, or for those who are using a truck or some other means to pull a trailer. This is the card that you will put in that car to get you in and out of the grounds. If you happen to go to the grocery store, go out to the restaurants, do something off grounds. When you come back, please have that card in your windshield, hanging from your rearview mirror, so our security folks know that you belong on the grounds. If you do not have that card, you are going to be stopped. You're going to be asked why you're coming in, where you need to go. A lot easier if you just have that card hanging. They'll just wave you right through. All right. Do we want to go on, or we want to look at some questions?
Let's do a few questions and see if maybe we can cover them. Are they all?
Let's see what we got here. All right.
Hi, Mercedes, Texas.
All right. We have Ann. What day do the on-site restaurants open? We'll be having some things going on Sunday, very limited, and then Monday will be everything operating, I believe, is the way it's working now. They actually have a Ron's Roost, a Rooster-Ron. What the heck's it called? I can't remember. Ron's Roost. That's something. They have that going on. They have a lot of concessions we're going to have in the McGill Marketplace. They have the tents outside. So they do a really nice job with us on concessions down in Perry. So very happy with that, I'm sure. Is there any public transportation from the fairgrounds into Perry? The answer to that is no. We do not have any buses that run there. We've had some discussion with them to have a bus take you into town. I don't know that we've confirmed that yet. We'll let you know if we do. If we do have that. And I'm not really even sure if they have Ubers and things like that. I would have to think that they do. So I'm guessing, Ann, that you don't have a car that you're going to be bringing with you, so that you need some way to get in and out of town. We'll find out more information about that and let you know.
They've been pretty vague about it. I keep saying, do I give up on it? And they go, no, don't give up yet. So I keep trying. We're working with the chamber. It's a lot more involved than just, a bus.
Right. Janelle Allred is asking, did I see something about the date changing? No, you did not. That was for Tucson next year. We had some date changes, so don't worry about it for this event. That's next year in March. Ed Sosby, he's his first FMCA event. Are golf carts needed, available for rent, or do you bring your own in a toy hauler? You really don't need them. We do have we have transportation within. We have buses. We also have activity 6-passenger golf carts running around. If you would like to rent a golf cart, you certainly can. I would suggest you go on to FMCA.com Info Central and go to the golf cart information section, and you can find out how to get in touch with the Willendale folks. They provide our golf carts and reserve one. If you have your own golf cart and you would like to bring it, you certainly can. We do have some rules that you're going to have to follow. I would also recommend that you have insurance on that golf cart, because if you have an accident, you will be responsible. FMCA will not be responsible. So if you have an accident, you're going to need to take care of that yourself, as you would if you have your own automobile and have an accident. So, if you have a golf cart, feel free to bring it. You do need to have lights on it when you drive it at night or in the morning before it is bright. Robert says he doesn't need any badges. Well, Robert, somebody's going to think differently if you come in without a badge. I know some of our little security guys we have out there, and they require you to have badges to get into things. So Deborah asks, we are not staying on the grounds. Where will we be parking with our car when we come into the event? You'll be parking, and we have directions that will show you exactly where that's at in your confirmation guide. and you will be going in the north gate, and you will be coming down, and public parking is just inside the north gate, and then you'll walk down through the north gate. If you have your passport badges and things, you'll just come through that gate and be able to go right into the grounds area. Mike Staska, arrival date. What if you're scheduled for the driver training? Well, you will get a special date of when to arrive for your driving training. Once you are finished with that, then you will go over and get ready to get parked over in the will call area, or go to your specific location where you were supposed to be parked. If you are doing driving training or RV basics, we will make sure that you are taken care of with your arrival date. RV basics folks will be showing up on the 11th, on that Saturday. Driving school folks will be coming in depending on when their driving class is taking place. Driving people will go to a specific location that is to the west of Miller Murphy Howard Building. You'll dry camp there for a couple days while you take your classes. Then once you are completed, then you will go and get parked for the convention. Paul Tressa asks, is the ladies' luncheon still available or sold out? Paul, it is sold out. We do have...
There's people are canceling here and there, so keep checking with us.
Yeah, we raised the number from 450 to 550, and now we're kind of at the limit there. I would say, we will have some cancellations, and a couple more of those tickets will free up. So, as Barb said, keep checking with us to see. Carol Townsend says, do we need anything special? I'm not sure what that refers to.
She might have finished her thought.
Yeah.
Carol, let us know what you think. We'll want to answer that.
Here we go. She's below that.
I see.
Do we need anything special if we were traveling in with a group? If you are traveling in with a group, I would say, depending on the size of group you're coming in, if it's larger than 10, I would recommend you call us about getting a caravan together so you can all park together. If it's just 5 or 6, make sure you come in together. If you want to get parked together, or wait for each other in the holding area until everyone's there, then get parked. We do not save spots for people. So if 4 of you get parked and then 3 or 4 more show up later, we cannot guarantee that you all be parked together.
I see handicap.
Yeah, Bev says handicap pulling a tow dolly. I'm not sure exactly. We certainly can. We'll take care of disabled. You'll get special parking. When you get there, you'll need to pull your car off the dolly and have the dolly either stored underneath your RV or in another location that's away from the parking area. If it can be put under your RV, we can certainly let you leave it there. If it's a larger dolly, we may have to put it off to the side of the parking area. Karen asked, if towing a car, it sounded like it might be better if you unhitch before arriving. If so, any thoughts on where, since we aren't familiar with the area? Thank you. Karen, it is best to do that. It's not absolutely necessary. You can pull in. We will have an area when you pull in where you can unhook. The reason you unhook ahead of time is you go straight into the parking queue. You will just drive straight in, you'll get in line, and you'll get parked. There are some areas close by, and I'm not sure if you're going to be parked, if you're going to have to, go and do shopping, or if you're going to have to do anything like that. Within a few miles of the grounds, there are some stop-off areas with Walmarts, with restaurants, with, fuel stops. That's probably the best place to do something like that. I'm not sure if you fill up before you come into the grounds, but there, from the time you get to Warner or Macon going south, there's a whole bunch of exits along the way. Coming from the south north, there's not near as much, but there are some places you can pull off and unhook and then finish the drive in that way. Paul asked, due to a health issue, we were holding off on registering. So when would be the last date to mail in a registration? I would say last date you want to mail in a registration probably would be, I'm going to say probably before March 1st, if you're going to be mailing it. You could certainly call us up until, I think, what do we say, the 5th?
Yeah. the 5th.
You can certainly call us till that time. We can put it in will call, and you can pick it up when you show up. Or, you know, if you choose to, if you feel like, you know, we're just going to go, you can register on site. We can certainly take your registration when you do show up. So, you know, you really don't have to make that commitment until you show up if you want to. And then we'll just make the packet up for you there and get you going. Anne asks, how can we confirm that we asked for will call? Also, can we get our arrival date prior to getting the email with our information? We're trying to plan our drive from Texas. And if you give us a call or send us an email, we can check and tell you whether you chose will call or your stuff's going to be mailed. If you did get will call, we're going to send you a packet, or we're going to send you a packet of information that says when you're supposed to arrive. It's going to have your confirmation guide in there. It's going to have your first timers if you're a first timer. It's going to have a piece of paper to put in your windshield that says will call. That way, when you arrive, folks know exactly where to send you. So, you know, we will tell you what day you are supposed to arrive on that will call packet. If you call in or send us an email, we can tell you yes or no, you got will call, here's your arrival date. So we can tell you that. We have you already confirmed as on a particular arrival date. So just let us know, give us a call, send us an email, convention@fmca.com, and we'll be happy to get that information to you.
Will call emails are going out February 8th, in case you want to know. We're going to start, we'll email everyone we have, and then we'll email weekly or whatever everybody after that.
Vicky asks, will there be ATMs? Yes, there will. Michael says, for those of us not in full hookups, do you have mobile pump out and water available? Yes, we will. We have AOK. They've worked with us for years. They will be available starting on Monday to sign up. And the way we're going to work this, it's a little bit different than in the past, but it worked really well in Lincoln. You sign up on one day and you get service the next. That way they can make their schedule up. You will not sign up and get service the same day. You'll get, you know, if you want to get pumped out on Tuesday, show up on Monday. They'll take your money, they'll give you your card, and then they'll come get you on Tuesday with the service.
$25.
Right. Pat is asking, you know, when the volunteer coordinator will reach out to the volunteers. The volunteer captains are in the process of doing that now. They'll be getting with you to set up scheduling and all that kind of fun stuff. So keep an eye on that. They have your information. So expect, you know, probably within the next couple of weeks to be hearing from your volunteer captains as far as what kind of possibilities there are for scheduling and things like that.
Can I say?
I don't know. I guess
Pat,
you can.
Because I kind of know a little bit about this volunteer thing.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pat, what's happening right now is they're either reaching out to you depending on what job you have, but a lot of folks don't want to sign up for their shifts, and because you advance sign up for your shifts, and they don't want you to sign up. They don't want to sign up until they know when all the seminars are and different things, because they want to make sure they can attend. So the captains are waiting for that schedule.
And that schedule is coming out probably near the end of this week, early next week.
Really close. So then it's going to be the big push,
right?
Especially golf cart and secure everybody.
Yeah, we're finishing up the program this week. Hopefully, we'll have that completed, and then we will be able to make the schedule of events available, and also the digital edition of the program. Hopefully, you know, that'll be available fairly soon as well, and we'll make sure we send out an email about that, and also have it on our online presence at fmca.com.
The digital program will be out about mid-February, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can just
maybe even a little bit earlier than that. But you know, once we get the program done, we get that confirmed, we get it sent to the printer, we have it looked at by the group that puts together the digital edition. They go through things, we look at it again, make sure all the links work, and then get it out to you guys.
It's usually a month out, so we're pushing.
Right.
Okay.
Andy has asked, I understand that volunteer groups camp in a specific area if we pay for a full hookup spot, but have been selected to be a volunteer. Is the volunteer area full hookup also? Andy, that's not the way it will work. You will have if you're in a full hookup area, you'll be parked in the full hookup campground site. If you're a volunteer, they'll get you as close to that as possible. Actually, most of, if not all of the full hookup sites are very close to the volunteer area anyway. So it really won't matter. If you're a full hookup, you'll be parked at a nice location that's close enough to get around to wherever you need to be for the volunteer activities.
We normally both volunteer to do seminars. Yes. Can we still do that, or do you have enough? I can probably get you scheduled if you want to. If you could email convention@fmca.com, and we'll get you in.
All right. Bart asks, if you have a handicap parking and attending RV Basics class, you need to display all cards in your windshield. Yes, please put all cards in your windshield. When you arrive, you'll come in the north gate. You'll be parked on the 11th. We need to make sure that you're coming in and getting parked in the disabled parking. We're not going to move you, but we do want you to go into that area. And then RV Basic class is actually very close to where you will be parking. So you can get around to that fairly easily from the disabled parking area.
RV Basics attendees are parked on Saturday, and you're parked for the whole show. We don't move you again. Driving school, you're moving about. We can't put you in your permanent spot until you finish your classes.
Keith asks, will dump tickets be issued, or how do you get the tanks emptied? You will go to the information center, which is in McGill Marketplace, and we're going to open that up on Monday for for you to be able to buy your ticket, buy your card. You'll go and talk to the folks with AOK. They will take your money, give you the card. The next day, you'll put that card out in your windshield or in a place where the folks from AOK can see it, and they will come around and service your vehicle, whenever it is. Now, if you can come in on Tuesday and say, you know what, I want to get this now, but I'm not going to need to get pumped out until Thursday or Friday or whatever. And they'll sign you up for that, and they'll make sure that on that Friday you're getting service.
Well, you put your card out on Friday. Yeah.
So that, that's how that works. It's fairly seamless. You just go to the info center. They'll have a table there, and you just talk to the rep there, and they'll take care of it.
And they'll be there every day, Monday through Friday, or even Saturday, 8 to 11, and they'll take your orders every day for the next day or the day you want.
Bart is asking, are there name tag holders or lanyards in the packet? If you are a first timer, you are getting a name tag holder, which looks like that. We also will have those at the info desk if you need more than one. If you're not a first timer, you didn't get one, you can come over and we can get you one of them, or you can purchase a lanyard. I don't know that I can't remember if we had any lanyards being supplied for our welcome bags. I don't recall that, but I
don't think this one does.
But Tina would know for sure whether we have any sponsors doing that. I don't think we do, but perhaps that's something that maybe a sponsor will come around and do for us. On to Rob, being I'm handicapped but camping across the street, will there be handicap parking available? Do I need a special pass? Rob, if you're a passport, and I guess that's what you're speaking of, if you're a passport person, we can get you some handicap parking. I need to figure out where that's going to be. We use most of our parking on the hard surface for RV parking, but we can find you a spot close by. And I'm not sure when you're talking about handicap, what type of handicap you are, whether you need just transportation from the parking area, or whether you are in a some kind of mobility cart, scooter device. I'm not sure. I would say give us an email at convention@fmca.com. Let's talk about it a little bit. Saying handicap doesn't help me because there's so many levels of what kind of assistance you need. But we'll make sure that you can get whatever you need.
So the question is, when do we start coming into the fairground if staying at the outside of the campground? And there's two answers to that. If you're a first timer attending our event on Tuesday, we've given you a pass for that day so that you can come in and attend the
First timers
orientation.
You can go to the walkabouts. You can come in
Yeah.
on that Tuesday to do all the things that first timers will be doing that day. We want you to come and get familiar with the grounds so that on Wednesday, when you do come back for the actual show, you know where you're going, you know where you're parking, you know where the seminars are, you know where the info center is, you know where everything is. So come on Tuesday. You can come into the grounds, no problem. Take part in all the different first timer things we have going on that day. We'll have the walkabouts going on that morning, so you can get a kind of a guided tour of the grounds. That afternoon, we'll have our first timers meeting over in the Reeves Arena, and you go to that and find out a lot of the things that first timers need to know. After that, we have our chapter fair that afternoon, so a lot of stuff will be going on with that. And then that evening, we have card bingo going on. We have a movie going on that night. Later on that evening, we have a group called Casual Mania who's going to perform in Reeves Arena. So a lot of stuff going on Tuesday. You're more than welcome, absolutely, with your passport to come over and participate in all those activities.
And if you get a 13, which would be Monday, that's because all our first timers were given a 13. So you may have that date. There really isn't a lot going on. It's more we're parking the first timers, but definitely by the 14th, please come over.
Right.
You'll see when you get the schedule.
Connie asks, the first timer, do you arrive a day early? As first timers, we ask them all to come in at least by the 13th. You don't have to. We're not making you come in. If you want to come in the 14th or 15th, feel free to do it. What we want to do, though, is we want to make sure our first timers have a chance to kind of acclimate themselves a little bit to the situation. You're going to get parked that day on Monday. Kind of look around the grounds. On Tuesday, as I mentioned, we're going to have our walkabouts so that you'll get kind of a guided tour of the grounds, where everything is located. You're going to go check out the first timer stuff. That will give you a chance on that Tuesday to get familiar with the grounds, get familiar with the area, so that the anxiety level is kind of taken down. And so then on that Wednesday, when we do start having seminars and we start having the exhibits open and all that kind of stuff, you know where you're going. You're not, scrambling around trying to figure out where Seminar 3 is, because you saw where Seminar 3 was yesterday. So we encourage first timers to come in early. We've done this for many years now, bringing folks in. We think it's very important to give you all that opportunity to get comfortable with your surroundings, with the venue. Some places are a little bit easier to get around than others. Perry is a very easy place to navigate. Most of the activities are held in a central area. You don't have to go too far away from most anything. So I think you'll be very pleased when you get there and find out how easy it is to get around the grounds. All right, we're going to William. We've signed up for a pre-rally meeting up at 12 March to be parked together. Receive a later arrival date in our package. Should we contact you? Do we pay our $40 extra night when we arrive? William, if you are coming in with a Caravan that is coming in to be parked on the 12th, and I don't know who you're talking about, so it would have helped to say that, we will take care of getting you there. If you got something different than that date, don't worry about it. Come in. Whoever's in charge of your Caravan or your group will take care of getting you special cards to put in your windshield. You'll all meet up in the Caravan area, and you'll be parked together. That's the way that works. So if you get a card for the 12th, don't worry about it. Come on in with your Caravan, with your group. You'll get special cards there, and then you'll get parked together. You won't have to pay $40 for an extra night, because this is an arranged group parking thing. So, don't worry about that. Come in according to the directions that you've been given.
Because Ms. Robbins, we're just told a number. We're not told everybody that's in it, so we wouldn't know how to code you for your arrival date. But just so you're part of their signage of whatever your Caravan is. So you'd be part of the 40 group for Integra or whatever. Then it doesn't matter what your arrival date is. Where'd he go? He just took off. Okay.
Barb, it's your show now.
Okay. Is there any more questions
Yeah.
on
Do you
there?
want to take the question from Vicky?
Yeah. Hi, Vicki. Are there bike racks outside the convention hall to secure our bikes? We request the bike racks. I've seen them in several areas and a lot outside of the exhibit hall, McGill. There might be some places that they're not available, but we encourage bikes, so we do have bike racks this area in Perry for sure. Some places they're hard to get some of our fairgrounds, but Perry does take care of bike racks. How many people are expected to attend the event? Whew, what are we at? 30,
Oh, you got it.
30 something, 30,000. So times 2.
Well, would you
Well,
say,
I had all the numbers
say
wrong.
30,000? Wow,
We're
we got a lot of
at
people coming.
18. We're
We're at 1,800 and we're getting close to 19. So you're looking at, 35 to 4,000 people,
4,000
something like that. That's about where we're going to be. We have roughly 1,800, close to 1,900 RVs registered. Sorry about that. A computer here that we're looking at, and guess what? The power just went out on it. So I wanted to make sure we got some power to
We
it.
had no power. I was answering my questions.
No,
No.
we had enough to answer your questions, but we were going to run out real soon.
Feed the black. All right. Where are we at here? What is the
Okay.
best online app to use while in Perry?
The online app we'll be using is something that we've worked with CVent for a few years. We use Crowd Compass with them. They've changed. They've kind of retired Crowd Compass, so we're going to use another one called Attendee Hub. We'll be sending out information about that. If you've had Crowd Compass in the past, it's not going to work. So you're going to have to download this new Attendee Hub app. And we'll, as I mentioned, we have information about that in our confirmation guide, and we will be sending out information about it as we get closer to the event when it's ready to be used.
Let's talk about the confirmation guide because this is really
Okay.
important.
Okay. This booklet here has just about everything you should or would need to know to get to the grounds and to get yourself parked and to get ready for the event. It has, a bunch of information here, how to arrive, procedures, all that kind of stuff. We've got social media information. We've got rules and regulations, some service things.
Sorry.
Probably get hard to turn the pages now. Kind of a little schedule of events here of some of the more important things that are going on. Some information about some of our different activities that we have. We have on this page, these are the directions. This is what you really need to pay attention to when you open this to figure out how you need to get there and where you need to go once you get to the grounds. We have different directions for whether you're coming from the north or the south on I-75 and what kind of parking you have. Depending on that, we'll tell you which gate you need to go in. We'll be using 4 different entry points for this. So please read this, know how to get to where you need to go. Don't just put it in your GPS and say, oh, my GPS or Waze or whoever is saying go here.
Yeah.
It's not the way it works. You need to follow these directions so you get to the right place. You can maybe go to the east gate, but there's not going to be anybody there to help you. So make sure you follow directions to where you need to go for your type of parking, and you'll get parked very easily and very quickly if you follow those directions. And we have worked with our parking team. We worked with people in the area, the security and at the grounds, and the police to make sure that we can get people onto the grounds quickly and not be clogging up their streets. The police department in Perry does not like when we do that, so we try to get you off the street and into the grounds as quickly as possible.
So, for example, it was hard to see, but there's a spot for if you're in a caravan, how you arrive. If you're public gate, meaning you're not camping with us, that you follow those directions. So it's all here, all in print. And you can't, if there's some other question, email us and we'll get the answer to you. But it should all be here when you get this. This is really a good read. Also has some other information. It talks about the QR code, different parking signal, signs to when you're getting parked, our wonderful charity efforts that we're going to do, Driven to Care. There's all kinds of pre-information for you in this packet. A lot of you want to know about coach weighing. That's in here. Chapter fairs.
Just a whole lot of
block
different.
party, all kinds of information here. Different games, just some health tips, all the crafts, the different things. And on the back are some of the local, what stores are available, services, ATM, banks, vets, everything you need for that. So this is a great tool for entry.
Please look it over. I mean, we put a lot of effort into this, and we do it not just because we want to do it.
Yeah.
We do it for you guys, so that you do have the information you need as you're arriving, to make it an easy process. Make sure that if you need to find somebody in the community, or you need to find a radio station or TV station or whatever, that information is in this book. It's filled with stuff that you really need to look at and hang on to when you're at the event. We have a first timers booklet as well. This kind of gives you first timers kind of a quick, here's how you do it guide about getting there, about getting to the event, about getting parked. You also, as Barb is showing, you're going to get a first timers card to put in your windshield. You're going to get ribbons, first timer ribbons. Please use those so we know and other folks know that you are a first timer. You're going to get those badge holders as well, since you are a first timer and we're not sure you have placards.
Upside down. They were upside down.
Oh,
because you were a timer first.
Oh.
Or
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that that for first timers, please look this information over. It will definitely help you get there and get going.
Has some suggestions, because you're going to be overwhelmed with seminars, and these are just a guide. I mean, there's 100 seminars, but some of you at the different levels you're at, I put in some suggested seminars. Some are featured ones because they're those guys traveling, and then the different events planned for you, your orientation and different things. So read that over. A lot of reading. Get a cup of coffee.
But it will definitely help you when you do show up, when you are there. We do these Q&As. We never used to do these,
No.
and we
You were on your own.
We started doing it, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and we think it really helps those who actually come in, and listen in a little bit and just kind of find out a little bit more. They seem to be more at ease. Don't have as many questions when they show up. They know where to go when they show up. It's really beneficial that you have this information ahead of time. We can send out all the emails and all the other stuff that that you want. But I think unless you're hearing it from us or you're reading that stuff, it doesn't matter. So please, when we send stuff out, when you get this kind of thing, please look it over. And take it to heart that it will help you when you show up.
And if you did purchase a ladies' lunch ticket, this is what they look like. Make sure you have one. And what's a good idea to do is, and you don't have to use this badge, but if you are using it, put that ticket right in there with your name badge so you have it the whole time and you don't lose it.
Right.
And we send these out to first timers because the people who go to convention, they either have one that they have from a favorite dealership or vendor they like, or they buy one at FMCA store, which we will have them for sale. There's different kinds. There's some that clip on and others that are pocket, and we'll have them at the info center until we run out. And then the store will have them on Wednesday. So they'll be available to you.
What else you want to talk about?
Rob, did we miss any questions?
Yeah, we have a couple here. Farmer Dave asked, do you have to be at your rig for them to dump? And the answer is no. As long as they can get to the area it needs to be dumped from. Make sure your cabinet's open so they can actually get to it, maybe indicate where it's at. I'm guessing most of these guys kind of have an idea where to go when they go to do the dump. But you need to make sure that is there. They'll talk to you about, when you're signing up for, the card for the service, about, getting a phone number for you to just make sure that, either you're there or that, they can get into your cabinet to get to the valve. So let's see it.
There's instructions in the program, and probably will be in advance. You'll see what they want you to do.
David asked, pet dogs are not an issue. True? Any constraints? We absolutely encourage folks to bring their pets. I know many people travel with their dogs and cats and other animals, and we certainly aren't going to ask you to keep them somewhere else while you're at this event. So please, bring your pets. We do ask that you not bring them into the buildings. The grounds has a rule that there's no pets in the buildings, so we kind of follow what they say. You can walk them anywhere you want. Please pick up after them. We will have a dog park on the kind of the east side of one of the horse barns, so you can take your pet there and let him run around for a little bit if he chooses to. There's just make sure keep them on a leash, keep them under control. If you leave your pet at your RV, I'm sure many of you have to do that on occasion. Make sure that they have plenty of air, without that being a problem. At some point, I know we've had some issues where a dog is just barked and barked and barked and barked all day. If that becomes an issue and somebody complains, we'll get in touch with you and see if you can go find out if he might be in some distress or what's going on. Yeah. Is that all right?
I think you covered it.
Steve Ray, who is one of our RV Basics instructors, is excited and hopes you are too, to become in the RV Basics classes if you are registered. And he's, hoping to see everybody there in, 6 weeks.
And Steve has some really nice seminars for you too during the week. So look for his seminars schedule.
Ken Pleat is asking, do you mean Event Hub? It's actually called Attendee Hub, I believe. It's put out by CVent. I haven't downloaded it yet because it is a newer app, but I believe the actual name is Attendee Hub. But we will be sending information out about that. So, by that time, we will have exactly the right name of what you need to be looking for when you go online. The name of the company is CVent, and I believe it is Attendee Hub that you are looking for.
CVent Events.
CVent Events, and then
what's it? We're getting consulted.
We'll send out plenty of information. I promise you'll get the information. There's no need to download it yet because there's nothing out there for you to look at.
We're just building it.
We are in the process. We don't build that really until after we get done with the program, because there's a lot of information that is in the program that goes into that app. So we finish the program. Once the program finished, then we build the app, and that is because when we first started doing this, we did them both at the same time, and then we'd have to make changes. And guess what? If you're not using the same file for everything, your changes don't match. So you would have different information in the program than you would in the app. People don't like that. I didn't like it. So we went and said we're not building the app until the program is completed. So that's that. Pat is asking, sorry to ask you to repeat, what are the instructions if I arrive on Monday?
Are you first time?
Let's see.
She had that.
Let's see what the question was, Pat. Let me go back to your original question there, Pat, and see what it is that you're looking for.
Wasn't she? No, it was a part of the caravan. Oh, do you know when the volunteer? No.
I'm looking. I think she might be a volunteer. Do you know when the volunteer coordinator will reach out to volunteers?
Pat, if it was about volunteer, if you arrive on Monday, your meeting's on Tuesday. So whatever you're volunteering, you'd be info, coffee, or seminar. It would arrive on Monday, get settled, and then your meetings are in the morning on Tuesday. Is that what?
Pat,
She's saying
can-
different question. Pat, if you have a
Yeah.
go ahead and give me your question so we can answer it, because looking through the past questions, I'm not sure what you're really asking here. What are the instructions if I were to arrive on Monday? So go ahead and just ask the question again. We'll be happy to answer it.
Different question. Info. That was me. That's all me. Can I step in?
You may.
Okay, in that confirmation guide, there's this little section right here, and it's my Supersized book club. We have a
Now,
fantastic.
wait a minute. Why is it just yours? Can't it be
You
everybody's?
had nothing to do with it. No, I say mine
All
because
right. All right. I'll let you take.
okay,
I'll
I
let
own
you
it.
have ownership.
I
All
own
right.
it, but it's only because when it's good. So it's all mine until it fails, and it hasn't failed yet.
It's been
so,
great.
Yeah, it's been really great.
And so is this one.
It is. She's okay. Normally I do these where it's all about the area, and then I try to find an author. It just kind of gets crazy. It keeps going back to Perry. So anyway, this author is out of Atlanta, and thank you. And it's a great book. People are loving to read. I ask you to sign up only so I know how many's attending. If you don't want to sign up, you don't have to, but it helps me know that I have a large enough room, and it helps her know what kind of attendance she's going to have. And I really, really encourage you to attend. There's just no charge, or you don't even have to buy the book and read it. If you come and just listen, it's really fun. And it's so cool. I think what gives me chills the most is how our members, they come, they have read that book, they have questions. Those authors are in shock how wonderful our readers are. And they really, she's so excited to come down here. And so please put this on your schedule when you start planning. 1 o'clock, it's on the last day, the 18th, 1 o'clock, seminar 1 for this book, the Supersized Book Club. The author will be there.
What's the author's name?
And you're going to say that, Cowan.
And what's the name of the book?
It's Justine Cowan and the Secret Life of Dorothy Soames.
It's a very interesting read, and she's not necessarily a book writer. She's
No.
not. She just has a fascinating story that she put in this book, and I think if you start reading it, you're going to be fascinated with some of the stuff that goes on in it. It's a true story. It is very interesting. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to go too much into the detail.
She's actually a lawyer, and she's very excited to come. She's put little gifts in your welcome bag, which I've just not had an author so welcoming to us. So let's be there.
Be there. Yes. And I was just kind of kidding Barb. She has done this one here. Has done a great job on this book club thing. She brought it to us, how many years ago? 4 or 5 years ago. We started looking at it, and I thought, I don't know, whatever, go ahead and do it. And she's built it into this really fabulous part of our conventions. And she's had some terrific authors there through the years. And this is going to be another one that I think folks are going to be really thrilled with who participate. All right. Pat says, early arrival. Volunteer begins on Tuesday. If you are an early arrival, if you are an early arrival and you're coming in on Sunday or Monday, the early arrivals are your activity carts, your trams, security, frustrator maestros. You will come in on Sunday. You will have your meeting on Monday, and you will probably start working on Tuesday, maybe a little bit on Monday, depending on the schedule. If you are an information volunteer or seminars or coffee hour or store, you're going to come in on Monday, and your meeting will be on Tuesday, and you will start working on Wednesday.
Well, info's going to help me out on Tuesday now. So some of you will help me out on Tuesday afternoon. Coffee hour starts Thursday. So it just depends
On your group.
on your group, what you're doing. Seminars start right away Wednesday morning. Pat will call you.
Robert's saying, what is the event ID for C-Event? Robert, we have not started anything with C-Event yet, so I can't even give you an event ID. It's not started yet, so we will send out information when it's available and when you can start looking at our event information. We have specific directions on how that will work, and once we're up and running, we will give you those instructions, and you can get into this event and look at the app.
I'm happy he's excited about it because it is really a cool
It is.
thing.
It is a great.
And I hope everybody's excited about it as you, Robert, because
it is a great thing to have. I encourage everyone to use it. It is a program in your pocket rather than carrying around, the paper program. Paper program is nice to have if you're sitting back at the RV, but when you are out and about, it's really difficult to carry that thing around with you the whole time. Everybody's got the phone with them. It's easy to pull up. You find out exactly where you're located, your schedule. You can set your own schedule up with it. You'll find out where the seminars are, what time the entertainment is. You find out all that information on the app. We went to it a few years ago, and I'm telling you, it is probably the best thing you can do as far as making your experience at the event so much easier. We have information in the book about. In the confirmation guide, we'll have some information about how to get signed up for it and how to get it downloaded and everything. So hopefully by the time you get this, we'll be much closer to that. I can't guarantee that we'll have it ready to go. We usually do that about 2 weeks before the event. We have the app ready and available.
And we did switch us up this year. So we're kind of on a learning curve again. We just got used to the other one, and now this one's throwing us off a little bit, but it's good. The other thing I'm going to throw in here, this confirmation guide's got me, and this is another thing, are our crafts. I have a lot of crafts this year, ladies or gentlemen. The sign up, these are not pre-sold. You sign up for these on site. It starts 8 o'clock Wednesday morning, and it's the only fair way to do this with all technology, not equal to all. So the crafters will be there, read them over. These are additional fee. I have to stress that. And they'll all be explained in the program when you get it, how much it is and when to sign up. So that's a listing though of all the crafts.
All right. Carolyn Dauphin asks, is it correct that the parking volunteers arrive on the 9th? It is correct. Parking volunteers will show up on the 9th. They begin their training that afternoon or the next day, and they will begin doing lot layout on the 10th, 11th. And so we're ready. We actually do a little bit of parking on those days as well. Really, our first day of big parking is for our main volunteers who come in on the 12th, and then we hit 13th and 14th with our big days. So our parking volunteers do come in on the 9th. To get everything started. They do have a lot of work to do even before the parking starts. They have to lay out lots. They have to get things prepared for the different crews. They have to get their will call and their arrival area set up. So a lot of business goes on before most folks are even on their way to the event. Being handled by our parking crew and our advanced crew, and they do a fantastic job. And I have no doubt that they'll do the same here in Perry for this event.
I don't think they realize, especially the first timers, that we come in there and in 2 days, maybe 2.5 days, we set up an entire city. Really, we have a mail, we have emergency, we have streets, and it all gets coordinated as you're traveling towards us. So that's why we these arrival dates are sort of important to us, because if you all start showing up and we're not ready, then it just kind of gets rough. So we ask you kind of stay out of the way of setting up exhibits and all that kind of thing, because there's a lot of equipment. There's trucks moving around. There's you know, there's just a lot going on. And I froze. Look how good oh, there you go. Anyway, it's amazing when you see it all come together. It's amazing. It's always amazing to me.
Yep.
That day one.
Carolyn is asking specific time we should plan to arrive on the 9th as a parking volunteer. The answer is between 8 and 5. That's when you need to arrive. Parking team does not like when you come before 8 o'clock. They don't like when you come after 5. So anytime between those hours, they'll be happy to get you in there. I'm sure the parking chief will be having a letter go out to all parking volunteers here within the next week or so. I think it's the 9th is what we're looking at. So look for that coming soon to you. He will have some specific instructions about getting there and kind of some of the things that you're gonna deal with. He also will be probably contacting folks if he hasn't already. For specific jobs among the folks who are parking volunteers. So keep an eye out for that. Roger Donnelly is the parking chief. He's being assisted by Ken Lewis, by Mike Haddad, by LB Butts, and by Connie Poole this time. So he's got a nice crew working with him. And then, he's got a lot of crew leaders who have done Perry before. So I'm expecting a fairly smooth parking operation. Anything can happen. The weather goes sideways on us. That always makes for a lot of fun. But for the most part, the folks who are, in charge of putting this parking thing together have done this before. And, they're familiar with the challenges and some of the things that'll happen during parking and are well equipped to handle those.
One thing we should mention too, because we keep talking about them to the first timers, this is all pretty much driven by volunteers. So be kind. The people parking you, the people checking badges and serving you coffee, they're all volunteers doing this for you. So they're great. It's great.
Especially that, be courteous to our parking team who are spending more hours volunteering than they probably really should, considering what they get paid, which is nothing. Same with our security folks. They have a job to do. They're being asked to do a job. So if they ask to see your badge or they ask you not to go somewhere, please, don't do what they ask you, either to do or not to do. Be courteous. Same with, our activity cart drivers and any of our other volunteers. Thank them for their service. Thank them for what they're helping out with. As Barbara says, we couldn't do this without them. So, make sure that you let them know that you appreciate their help, and that if you are in a situation where things don't seem right, we can handle that at the office. We can handle that at the info center. Please don't, take it out on a volunteer who's there to help.
Okay. Hi, Leslie. I'll get you some information. I'm Barb. You worked with me booking your craft. I'll make sure you will have what you need. You might want to put some extension cords in your box. I have some. So
what kind?
They're in Huff and Warren.
We'll take care of. We'll work with you to get whatever it is you need to make sure that your class is ready to go for your students and for you as you're doing this. So don't worry about that.
Leslie's going to have a really nice class.
All right.
So yeah,
good.
It's on your thing.
Robert and Andy, thank you for the thank yous. We appreciate that. We do this to try and help, as you mentioned earlier, make it a better experience for you. That's kind of the number one goal, is to make sure that when you come to one of these conventions or one of our events, that you have a great time, and that it's not, you're not anxious, you're not, filled with a bunch of anxiety or worry, either when you're on your way there or when you arrive. We want it to be a fun time for you. That's what you came to do. You didn't come to be aggravated. So Please, if there's anything that we can help you with, let us know ahead of time or on site. We're there. I'll be there starting on
Monday.
the Monday before the Monday before the event even starts. I get there on like the 6th of March just to kind of get things rolling and making sure that the shipment arrives, making sure we have keys to get in the building, making sure our security is ready to go, and all that kind of fun stuff, even before our early arrivals come. So anything you need, our events team is happy to help you with. So please, give us a call, give us an email. If you're on site, stop by. Be happy to help you.
I would think for the Parker's sake, again, I'm just kind of arrive with some patience and not an expectation that this is like it's a big barge trying to get everybody parked. You're all new. So just, be ready for anything. It could be, a long wait, or it could be immediate. Just depends about the guy ahead of you, or, how easy they're getting parked, or it's just.
Right. And, we're going to have probably on Monday, probably 800 RVs coming in to be parked, maybe even more than that. On Tuesday, something similar, maybe a few less. Understand it does take time for that to happen. Understand if we have weather, that causes more problems. So, we might have times when, there's hardly any RVs rolling in. We might have a time when 100 come in at a time. So, it just depends. I would recommend, if you can, get there before 3 o'clock. If you're going to get there late in the day, makes it harder and harder for these guys to get all their work done, and get everybody in when everybody's kind of rushing to get in, get set up before nighttime hits. We will be changing the clock the weekend before the event. So I believe that gives us a little bit more daylight. At least I hope it is. So that's helpful in many different respects. I don't like it getting dark so stinking early in the evening. And if we can get it to stay light until 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, I prefer that for a number of different reasons.
If nothing went right that day, and now it's 6 o'clock and you're just rolling in and you meant to be there at 3, but you're 3 hours late, just head to the welcome area, park overnight, no worries. And then we'll get you in the morning. Don't panic. You got a safe place to stay. Just go in, right? And just park.
Absolutely. We'll have an area, a holding area. In the holding area where we'll say overnight parking. Just follow the signs into that area. And in the morning, the parking team will come out and get you, once you're up and about. They're not going to come and knock on your door and wake you up. So once you're ready to go, let them know that you're up and about, and they'll go get you parked.
And they're usually there before around 8 o'clock. So
they'll be there ahead of time, but they usually start parking at 8 and they end at 5. Now, I know, there are situations if they have a bunch of RVs sitting there who have been there for a while, they will definitely get you parked that night. But if you show up at 7 o'clock, go to the holding area, the arrival area off of Starbuck and park for the night, and then be ready to get parked the next day. So I'm not sure. Do we have anything else we want to talk about here today, Barb?
I don't know. We always feel like we cover everything, and then
this is a different. Usually we kind of horse around a bunch and
we're just
be goofy, but we're trying. This is kind of a big deal day where we're trying to get out as much good information, solid information as we can, so that y'all get in, you get parked, you get started off on the right foot. That's kind of very important to us. It makes your life easier. It certainly makes our life easier as well. If you can get in. And you're walking around with a smile on your face, that kind of makes me happy when I see people happy. When I see people who are mad or coming in, grumpy, and makes it for not so nice a day, makes us feel like maybe we didn't do enough of what we needed to do to make sure that you were happy. So the goal is to have a good time, and that's what we shoot for. And we hope you certainly do at the Lucky 13 convention in Perry. I'm excited. It is just 6 weeks away. It's hard to believe that because it seemed like it was, not long ago. We were still 4 or 5 months away, but it does sneak up on us, especially with the holidays. So we're through with that, and we're onward, and we're getting ready to.
We're going to see you on February 13th.
Oh, that's right. We do have a little something on the 13th for those who have registered. We are going to do another drawing for, what are we drawing for?
A Perry party pack.
A Perry party pack.
I
My
remember.
goodness.
So so tune in that
Tune
day.
in. We're going to pull the name of one lucky winner who will get a Perry party pack. I'm kind of putting together some ideas for what's going to be in that pack. I have some good thoughts.
Oh, it'll be fabulous.
I think people are going to really like it.
And then our next get your questions piled up because our next Facebook
when
Live.
is that? When is our next one? The second or the first? The second?
March 1st.
March 1st.
March 1st. My gosh.
A
March
month
1st.
From now.
A month. Anytime though, call, questions, email convention@fmca.com, email, send a pigeon. We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll answer your questions.
Yeah, for the next,
we're here.
we'll absolutely answer more questions during that session as well. But we'll also be providing some additional advice on things that are going to be happening during the event, such as our entertainment. The app we'll be talking about, the digital program, because a lot of that stuff will be out by that time. So, we'll be delving into that kind of thing more at that Facebook Live Q&A than a lot of this nitty-gritty stuff. We'll be doing more of the fun stuff, but we will also answer your questions if you have those about arrival dates and things like that as well. So
a lot of information on Facebook, this Facebook thread that you're on right now. The people are all out there helping you. So get on here too and read what's being posted. At least I'm learning a lot. Anyway, we better sign up. We could talk all day. So
nobody want to listen to us.
No.
We could talk all day, but you want to hear the nonsense that we come up with. All right, so 13th, tune in. The first of next month, tune in, and we will we'll see y'all then. Safe travels. If you're living in an area that has the foul weather, please be careful. I know Texas had some bad icing going on down there, so please be careful while you're out in those types of in the elements like that. And for all others, we will see you soon. So have a good afternoon and a good evening. Take care.